Star Trek Strange New Worlds proves Captain Kirk's spin-off potential. For decades, Captain James T. Kirk has remained one of the most iconic figures in science fiction. From William Shatner's original portrayal to Chris Pine's rebooted adventures in the Kelvin timeline, Kirk has always carried the weight of leadership, charm, and bravado. Yet, until recently, a full-fledged spin-off exploring his formative years aboard the USS Enterprise had never truly been realized. Star Trek Strange New Worlds is now changing that, proving not only that Captain Kirk's story has more room to grow, but that the character's potential for a spin-off has never been stronger. The third season of Strange New Worlds delivered a subtle but unmistakable evolution in its storytelling approach, placing Captain Christopher Pike at the center while simultaneously giving viewers glimpses of Kirk's early days on Starfleet's flagship. While Kirk's appearances are brief, the impact of his presence is profound. It's a clever narrative strategy. By teasing Kirk rather than giving him full episodes, the series establishes the foundation for a spin-off without overshadowing the ongoing arcs of Pike and Spock. Fans are left with tantalizing hints of the young, impulsive, and ambitious officer who would one day become the legendary captain, building anticipation for stories that could explore his journey from brash newcomer to fearless leader. What makes the idea of a Kirk spin-off particularly promising is how Strange New Worlds balances nostalgia with fresh storytelling. The show is unapologetically rooted in the aesthetic and ethos of the original series, from its episodic structure to its moral and philosophical themes. Yet it introduces contemporary sensibilities that appeal to modern audiences. Nuanced character dynamics, serialized storytelling alongside episodic adventures, and a commitment to deeper emotional arcs. This means that any Kirk-focused spin-off could honor the character's legacy while offering new narrative opportunities, exploring the nuances of Starfleet leadership, the moral dilemmas of space exploration, and the personal costs of command. Alan Ritchson's portrayal of Reacher might be a separate universe entirely, but it serves as a subtle proof of concept. Audiences respond well to bold, confident, and charismatic leads, especially when their personalities are multidimensional. Captain Kirk, as a character, fits this mold perfectly. We know his bravado, his risk-taking, and his magnetic personality, but Strange New Worlds shows that there's room to delve into the vulnerabilities, insecurities, and formative experiences that shaped him. It's the difference between admiring a legend from afar and understanding the human being behind the myth, a story that modern sci-fi audiences crave. Moreover, the chemistry between the existing crew in Strange New Worlds demonstrates that Star Trek thrives on ensemble storytelling. A Kirk spin-off would need to isolate its titular character. It could explore his relationships with other young officers, mentors, and even adversaries. Imagine a series that delves into Kirk's friendships with fellow cadets, his early clashes with Starfleet bureaucracy, or his first brush with interstellar diplomacy. These moments, rich with tension, humor, and ethical complexity, could provide fertile ground for a series that feels both familiar and excitingly new. The timing for such a spin-off also feels ideal. Star Trek has spent recent years cultivating a new wave of shows that appeal to both longtime fans and newcomers. The success of Strange New Worlds has proven that there is a hunger for prequel stories and character-driven narratives that explore the formative years of iconic figures. By positioning Kirk within this framework, a spin-off could capitalize on existing fan interest while inviting new viewers into the Star Trek universe through the lens of one of its most charismatic protagonists. Finally, the narrative flexibility of a Kirk series cannot be overstated. Unlike Pike, whose tenure aboard the Enterprise is well-defined, Kirk's early career is largely unexplored in canonical television. This gives writers creative freedom to craft adventures that range from thrilling first-contact scenarios to intimate, character-driven stories about ambition, loyalty, and the moral dilemmas of command. A spin-off could balance the adventurous spirit that defines Star Trek with a modern, emotionally resonant approach that emphasizes the personal stakes of life aboard the Enterprise. Strange New Worlds has done more than just tease a familiar face. It has laid the groundwork for the next great chapter in Star Trek storytelling. By carefully integrating glimpses of young James T. Kirk into its narrative tapestry, the series proves that there's room for a spin-off that both honors his legacy and explores uncharted territory. For fans of the original series, the modern iterations, and anyone drawn to bold, character-driven science fiction, the potential is tantalizingly clear. Captain Kirk's story is far from over, and the future of Star Trek is ready to boldly follow him where no series has gone before.